Welcome back to the channel. I'm going to talk about Halloween Kills. Managed to finally see that on Peacock. And I was really looking forward to Halloween Kills. I enjoyed the 2018 reboot. I thought the 2018 film was a return to the supernatural Michael Myers, the mysterious Myers, the shape, if you will. And I thought the kills were brutal, and I thought it was a tense, uh, well-paced movie. I mean, there's obviously a few nitpicky things. I actually don't have a problem with the twist with the doctor. I mean, I think that was kind of fun. And of course, the you either love or hate the ending with the house of traps, kind of like Home Alone type stuff. But I thought Jamie Lee. The only other quip maybe I had with it is Jamie Lee Curtis was so serious and just almost unlikable, kind of. I mean, she was definitely different from. She had not aged well from the first two couple movies. I mean, she just, you like your characters to be likable, and she was kind of unlikable in that. But I still think it's a 7 out of 10. I thought it was a good movie, and I liked it. As I said, I like the return to the mysterious Michael Myers. Um, Although even that, to some extent, was diluted because you got to see him unmasked, and he was kind of an old man doddering around. So there it's a mixed bag, but overall, I still thought it was a 7 out of 10. So I was looking forward to this second film of the reboot trilogy. Um, and I think what we got was kind of a mess, honestly. Uh, I've obviously seen a lot of people's comments about this, and I have a whole different perspective on why this movie is a mess, from at least from what I've seen or heard people talking about. First of all, let's just start with where we. So the movie picks up basically uh, after a flashback scene. It picks up basically right where the last film left off, with Michael in the burning house, a bunch of firefighters all around, that type of thing. And before I go into more detail, spoilers. That's it. It from that point on, it's basically Michael Myers versus the town. You know, Michael Myers is on a basically a kill mission, and then just to go back to his house essentially, and then the townspeople, like a mob from a Universal Frankenstein film, are out to finally put a stop to this bastard, which no one seems to have been able to do. So that's it's pretty thin. I mean, that's your story. Um, Directed by David Gordon Green, and produced and written by Danny McBride. So the big issue with this film seems to be people's complaint that uh, the story and the characters' actions are stupid. It's dumb character motivations. They make stupid decisions throughout the movie, and that's true. I mean, and I'm going to talk about those. But I think the reason, so there's, in my opinion, when you see this kind of thing, there's a couple of things to think about. First of all, with slasher films, and really with horror in general, you kind of have to have characters make stupid decisions, or you don't have a plot. You don't have the kill. You don't have, and in some cases, you don't have something to propel the horror story to begin with. If every character acted logically and did the smart things, probably wouldn't have a movie. So I think we have to be balanced in our thinking on characters acting stupidly. Uh, but the bigger thing for me is look at who directed it, look at who produced it, look at who wrote it. I don't think it was I don't think that these are people that are rookies in the movie making business. They'd already done Halloween 2018, so they proved to me that they know how to make a good horror movie. I think what we've got here is an intentional script, an intentional storyline, with characters intentionally making boneheaded decisions because it's a dark comedy. My point is, I think this is a dark comedy. So why do I think that? Well, first off, look at who directed it. David Gordon Green, who directed Pineapple Express, who directed Eastbound and Down, who produced it? Danny McBride, a comedian. Who wrote it? Danny McBride, a comedian. Now, I like Danny McBride. I think he's funny. I think he's one of those guys. He's one of those guys for me that as soon as I see him on the screen, I laugh. I mean, he don't have to do anything anymore now to elicit a laugh out of me. But I believe that these guys are very smart. They know what they're doing, and I think they were just having a laugh. I think they were throwing some dark humor into this thing as a change of pace. And unbeknownst to them, the problem with that is Halloween fans are a unique group. They're very what I would call type A. They take themselves very seriously. This Halloween franchise is essentially the sacred scrolls, and I don't think they have or want in their Michael Myers movies humor, at least not a lot of it. And so I don't think people are seeing the humor in this because the fan base is so serious and wrapped up in Halloween fanboyism that they're not going to see it for what it is and probably resent the fact if that's true. So you're left with characters making dumb decisions. It's a bad movie. I don't think that's what we got here. I think we've got an intentional dark comedy. So now I'm going to go into some spoilers to try to further prove my point. Um, you can have situational. I think we've got here a blend of situational comedy combined with just pure out and out silliness comedy. So let's look at the casting. You've got, every horror movie, particularly slashers, has got those characters that are throwaways. They're just there to get killed. And so what do we have here? We've got an interracial older couple, not just an interracial couple. They're like in their 70s or something. Which I don't know about you, but if you look at the statistics nationwide, less than 17% of the population is interracial. So, but is that Hollywood or is that someone playing this for a joke? I think it's Danny McBride saying, "This is the whole Halloween, the whole Hollywood social justice push." I think he's making fun of it because what is the first thing he does with the older interracial couple? Besides the fact they make some stupid decisions that makes you want to laugh, he kills them off in the most gory, over the top fashion that you can do. And now any seasoned horror fan will know that over the top gore is in itself a form of dark humor. For example, The Mutilator. Everybody knows the scene in The Mutilator where the guy's standing in the doorway with the chainsaw and he's going, that's kind of thing. Well, you got an interracial couple that just gets killed quickly in the most over the top gruesome way possible. It's crazy. It's ludicrous. Then we move on to a gay couple. And a gay couple that, oh, by the way, we just, less than 1 million people in the United States statistically out of 61 million couples are gay. Okay. And this gay couple just happens to buy the Michael Myers house. All right. Either it's horrible Hollywood writing, but I just don't believe it. I just think that seasoned people like this that are also in the comedy, their background is comedy, have to be having a laugh. They have to be poking fun not only at Halloween the series, but they're poking fun at Hollywood's intent to make statistically minor people, not minor people, but basically minor, and statistically you've got people that are in the minority, less than 1 million out of 61 million, and here you are, we keep pushing them into mainstream of movies as if this is this is the like majority, which is not. It's just not. But then they're going to go along and buy the Michael Myers house, and so I can just see Danny Morad sitting there thinking through this, saying, "Hey, it's Hollywood. Let's throw in the gay couple, right? But let's kill them off, make them do some silly stuff, and then kill them off. And we're just gonna have some fun with this and make fun at the whole thing." So what is the gay? So Michael Myers is in the Myers house. The gay couple's like, "What was that noise?" One of them picks up a golf club, which is a decent, that's a decent object, I think. But then, what does he do? He gets rid of the golf club and he picks up a cheese cutter that's like this, that couldn't penetrate maybe. I mean, look, and they zoom in on the cheese cutter, the cheese knife. I mean, what can you do but laugh? So he trades his golf club, his driver club, for a damn cheese knife. Of course they get killed off, right? I mean, it's hilarious. It's hilarious. I don't know if I haven't seen anybody else talk about these connections, but the humor in this is just, to me, obvious. And then let's talk about the mob scene. So you've got this mob scene, and they think they're going to stop Michael Myers, who is now indestructible, by the way. We've now transformed Michael Myers well beyond some shadowy, mysterious figure to an indestructible force, which I don't particularly like, by the way. I mean, I think for him, yeah, I mean, he withstood bullets, and he keeps coming back. But, I mean, we're taking it to an extreme now, almost like he's an anti-hero in a comic book, superhero comic book. So I think we're going a little bit too far with that, which in itself, I think, is trying to throw some humor into it. But the mob, how's the mob going to stop him, right? They've got pitchforks, and one woman's got an iron. Come on, man. I mean, I don't know if anybody else has seen this, but I would not be surprised going back and watching it, if you go back and look at the mob scene, that there's other accoutrements that they're going to use to stop Michael Myers that are also laughable. The iron probably is a plug-in iron, right? It's not even hot. And the pitchfork, I bet the pitchfork is plastic or some shit like that. It's kind of like out of Shaun of the Dead. So yeah, I mean, I don't. As I watched this movie, I was laughing. I mean, you've got the one kill of the interracial couple, the white guy. He does get brutally killed, and the wife too. I mean, she gets brutally killed as well with a. He takes a a light bulb and stabs her in the neck with it. I mean. It's just hilarious. It's too over the top to be taken seriously, and that's kind of my issue with it. So my core issue with this film is, what do you want to be? Are you trying to be a comedy? Are you hiding the fact you want to be a comedy, or are you trying to do a straight up horror movie? I mean, I think you need to pick one, and be clear about it. I don't think you can have a brooding, scary slasher film, and in the middle of that, you got Michael hunting down the people, the two guys that have bought the Michael Myers house. When they pick up, I mean, it completely destroys the mood when the guy picks up a butter knife, a cheese knife. I mean, what are you supposed to do with that? Either it's stupid writing, or it's intentional. And if it's intentional, why is it intentional? I would argue that the people that made this movie are extremely smart. They've made some really good movies. They're great at comedy, and it's a fucking comedy. It's a black comedy, and people just aren't picking up on it because, like I say, the Halloween series attracts a lot of extremely type A and protective people in general. I mean, I love the Halloween series, but I don't. It's not the Sacred Scrolls. I much prefer Friday the 13th series. Uh, I prefer, honestly, if you want to talk franchises, I prefer Hammer's Dracula and Frankenstein franchise to most anything else. I think those are the top ones right there. As far as quality and consistent quality of the movies throughout the series. So anyway, that's my thoughts on it. I think it's a step down from 2018, only to the extent that it's a confusing kind of mess of a movie. Um, but I am looking forward to seeing how the third one comes out. And I liked how Michael Myers looked in this movie. I thought he looked fantastic. I really did. I thought the mask looked great. I don't have any complaints about that. I don't really particularly like, Superman Myers, who is an unstoppable force. I think he needs to have some um, element of vulnerability to make it kind of interesting. That's the problem I have kind of with Superman is, I mean, the fucker can't. How can you stop him? I mean, when you're indestructible like that, it kind of takes all the fun out of it. But I don't hate the movie. I gave it a 5 out of 10. There's parts I like, parts I don't like, and I just didn't like the. I didn't think that the comedy combined with trying to make a serious slasher movie was worked. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with the third film in this trilogy. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Appreciate you watching.